Welcome back to Bros in the Landfill. I'm just letting you know now I called Terry Bogard last week.
Hell
Your
yeah!
hosts for today are Lunchbillion,
Okay!
Dizzy. Dizzy, are you there? Dizzy.
Oh no.
Oh, fuck. Where did everyone go?
Is it just us? Are we alone?
I
I thought we were gonna run this whole episode off the back of his spicy takes!
What are you talking about?
I know! And now Dizzy's just gone and chickened out on us?
I'm over here. What are you talking
What
about?
the fuck is this
Whoa, where the
bullshit?
fuck did you come from?
What did I miss? I went to get some water.
Oh.
I was introducing you!
I didn't know we were starting yet.
I dropped the quip!
I didn't hear it.
Okay, take two?
No.
I thought that was a bit.
I didn't miss the.
I thought that
it
was
was a
bit.
bit. It
I
was
don't-
a bit, guys. Hey, I know what
Oh.
we're doing. It's a bit. It's a
Fucking
bit.
hell!
It's a bit, guys. Lunch. What are you talking about?
We're
Oh,
talking
no,
about
you-
your spicy hot take for us today.
What spicy
About
hot take?
bad anime.
I thought you didn't want to talk about Danganronpa 3.
Oh, that's spicy, but no.
Is that really
No,
spicy?
that wasn't the take we wanted.
Is it
No,
really
we want your
spicy?
super take.
Also, Tar is here. Hi, I'm Tar.
Yeah, we
And
didn't.
Dizzy has a hot take.
Why is this the episode's title? Welcome to Bros in Landfill, episode 57. Dizzy has a hot take again.
Stop beating around the bush and give us a
Yeah,
hot
you've
take.
got a
How
very
do you wanna-
quirky take for us, right?
Why do you want to talk
Good
about
jumping off
this?
point.
I said My Hero Academia sucks. There you go.
Because I want to hear your reasoning.
Well, okay.
And we're building it up too much, and now people are going to be let down no matter what it is.
I already
so
said what
just
it
drop the
was.
quit. So just
I said what it was. I said I thought My Hero Academia was a bad anime.
And we're interested to know why.
Well, firstly, I talk in extremes, and secondly, you have to understand, I watch anime on YouTube. So I watch basically how anime on YouTube works is that someone takes a 20-minute episode, they cut it up into 5-minute segments, and then they cut up those 5-minute segments into 2-minute segments. So I
like
don't
you have to change videos every 2 minutes?
Yeah, so I don't have a complete picture, but from what I've seen, it's very blah and has terrible villains.
Okay,
And a lot of
There's
contrivances.
something to unpack here.
Yeah.
I can't help but this is help it feel like this is a borderline offensive way to watch anything.
I have no money. You want me to pay a subscription
It's not
fee
even
and
borderline.
just tear out my
Yeah,
my $200 savings?
Look, I'm not.
I'm so
telling
poor
you
I
how
can't
to
even
live your
afford a
life, but
Switch.
I know that you're in this situation where it's hard to buy things, but maybe you just gotta go without, man. This is somebody's artwork.
I've literally
this
been
is a
going
product.
without for most of my life. I've only just started watching anime. That's the other thing too. All the animes that I've watched as of late are
So
like
what you're
3
saying
years
is-
to 4 years to 5 years old. I'm like watching.
so what you're saying is you don't have any point of reference.
Well, what I'm saying is I don't have a complete picture, but I've seen a lot of bits of the giant picture. It's like a coloring book that's not quite finished yet. So yeah, from what I've seen of the villains, they all suck, and from what I've seen of the heroes, they're all meh. And the show is really comedy focused, and it really, really likes to make a lot of certain kinds of jokes involving the female body.
What kind of certain kind of jokes?
The kind that involves the female body. And
Yeah,
butts.
that's a problem.
I mean, I just think it's kind of
Especially in
tasteless,
this
but
show.
I'm mostly just upset about. It's a weird show because
So
you
then,
keep having these.
How do you feel about Invisible Girl?
I don't see her enough to have an opinion.
Ah! That was a pun.
No, it wasn't.
So today's
this has
episode
gone
is
fantastically.
about how My Hero Academia is bad.
Well, I say
Um,
bad, but really what I more mean is just I don't care for it and it's boring. So to me, I'd say that's bad.
That's
Ooh, that's even worse.
Really?
That's-
So it's
I guess
worse
that's
to say
spicy.
that it's mad than it is to say that it's awful.
At least if it's awful, it's inspiring strong feelings within you, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's achieving something as an art form, for those of you pretentious enough to perceive anime as an art form.
I would perceive it as an art form, and I don't even like anime.
Are you defending or dunking on anime? I don't know what's happening anymore.
I'm saying that
I can't tell what your position is.
My position is that if you have a whole bunch of people working on something, working on the sound, the style, the look, the story, the everything, I call that art, even if I don't like it personally.
Okay.
Like if I go to a restaurant and the food sucks, it's still food. I just don't like it. If I go to a McDonald's, well, that's just trash.
So is McDonald's art?
Yes, it's certainly not food. I'll give you that.
A lot of
It's certainly not food, but it's art.
Is McDonald's art?
Well, a lot of different people.
2019.
A lot of different people are working on it, doing this particular job.
There are a lot of people working on it.
You know, doing the fucking frying, doing the fucking salting,
the cashier work, the customer service.
Yeah.
Yeah,
bless McDonald's customer
floors.
service workers.
There's an art form to that. Yes.
Okay. So by saying
culinary
that you
arts
think
are a thing.
oh, true.
Yeah, there you go.
So by saying that that My Hero Academia as an anime is art, you are in no way defending it.
No, I'm saying that it deserves to have its position, but I'm also saying that I don't
as a
like
bad
it.
thing.
No, I don't know.
But what is its position?
Its position is that I don't like it. Why is this the crux of our episode?
Well, you know,
I thought we would have a discussion.
So that's why it's worse that I just don't like it rather than hate it, because then you have less of the rant.
I thought we would have a discussion.
Okay. Well, yeah. Number one with DSY, I talk in a bit of extremist ways. Number two, yeah, I don't like this show. I harp on the villains a lot because the villains are a lot of the driving.
You're harping on the villains a lot. What makes them bad? Are they one note? Do they have shitty motivations?
Okay, well, a person who actually watches the show might comment saying, I have no idea what I'm fucking talking about, but from what I've seen of the villains, I've seen a number of scenes with them together. They're very, very strange in a hypocritical sense, but they're never called out as hypocritical. So a lot of the villains are like, heroes are the real villains. They corrupt society, and heroes should never ask for compensation, and heroes are the bad guys. But then you have a bunch of villains that perform terrorist actions against defenseless people and kidnap and kill. And I'm like, what are you fighting for exactly? What? Because you just seem to want wanton destruction and mayhem, and yet you're preaching some kind of higher cause, but you're not delivering on this higher cause. And also, none of the heroes are calling you out on your hypocrisy. They're all just kind of saying, "Oh man, they're such bad guys." And I'm like, what is the point you're trying to make? Because you're saying that you're juggling a lot of balls, but you're not. And that's why that's why I harp on the villains a lot, specifically when I say the show is bad, because I'm like, what is your point? Why are you here?
There was a lot more setup with the villains that kind of fell through the bottom.
Well, the thing is again, I keep mentioning this. I watch this show in like split clips, so I don't have every single second of something happening, but I have a lot of scenes of things happening. So that's why I'm like not sure. Maybe there's something I'm not seeing. But like there was one scene that really annoyed me where there's this guy talking about how bullshit heroes are, and it's like this super big muscly man that's literally trying to murder a child. And he's fighting against a hero who is breaking his arms to defend that child just because he wants that child to be safe for no other reason. And I'm like, yeah, that's bullshit. Like, what are you talking about? Heroes aren't real.
In this particular circumstance, at the very least, this guy does go on to spare Midoriya because of this situation.
Midoriya kicks him into a wall.
No, but I think someone else he declares him like the
No, that
like
was
worthy
Hero
of being
Killer
a hero.
Hero Killer saves Midoriya from this big muscly monster, but this was
so who are you talking about? That really big guy?
Yeah, there's this really big buff guy who has like super strength and regeneration powers, and he's trying to kill this kid. who
Oh,
I guess has
that
the
guy
pow-
totally doesn't have. That guy just wants to cause mayhem. He's just a big bully. I
Yeah,
think.
that's the thing, and he's running with this other guy who apparently does. There's like a scene too where like there's this big group of villains, and then one group of villain is attacking. This pair of villains are fighting this pair of heroes in the forest, and the pair of villains are trying to kill the heroes, but I guess for some reason the heroes can't fight back. But I guess the pair of villains are talking about how they're noble and have some kind of like
Some of them
code?
feel that way, but
Yeah, but they're
they're
still
acting as
holding-
freelancers under one dude.
Yeah, and they're
Um,
like holding people hostage and threatening to kill them. And it's like, you're not heroes. You can't be the stupid. What are you talking about?
I
And
honestly,
all of them-
I
all of
kind
them
of feel
hate
you.
All
I'm not
Might, and All
sure.
Might has never done anything, or maybe he has. Maybe I've missed that part. But all I've ever seen of All Might is him just being
I
the
thought
goofy
All
weirdo.
Might I thought All Might gave the main protagonist boy his magic eyebrows or something.
Yeah, he gave him his power. All Might gave him his hair, and he told him.
All
to
right,
eat it.
thank you for contributing.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I
his
again.
magic eyebrows.
Isn't that the guy with the magic eyebrow powers?
No, the guy
Thanks,
with the magic
Tar.
eyebrows is
I only
Hey,
watched
Hachi.
So This Is Basically.
Okay. All right. Look. So the villain characters in the show.
Hero
think
Killer was the only character
they're
that
not-
anyone ever talks about in the show. I mean, the characters are like, oh, the philosophies of Hero Killer and the ideas behind him, and I'm like I hear about Hero Killer a lot. So I guess he's different from the other group of villains because he attacks the other group of villains.
Yeah. No. He's not interested in just causing mayhem. His job.
Yeah.
Well, his path specifically is wanting to kill people he sees as hypocritical heroes. To prove a point, I guess, which is an incredibly deranged, murderous, crazy thing to do. But
That's at least
I think
somewhat
that character's fairly
interesting.
consistent. I think this
Yeah.
character's interesting. He's like,
The Hero
'cause,
Killer
like,
sounds
one of the-
interesting. But then
Yeah, well-
you have everyone else. You have hand on his face, man, and he just makes me want to put my hand on my face.
that is pretty much what he is.
I get it.
And then they kidnap the explosive guy, and they're like, "You also see how messed up the hero game is." And it's like, no, he doesn't. He's just a violent guy. He's just a violent teenager. He doesn't see anything about how messed up the world is. He's just a violent punk.
Well, that's their
He doesn't-
misunderstanding of him.
Why did
And-
they go for him instead of like the Ice and Fire guy, who seems a lot more pragmatic, who probably could have been convinced, or at least they could have planted the idea in his head that there was something wrong.
I don't know. I guess he just seemed like a
Isn't
nice
he,
boy.
Isn't he brooding anti-hero boy?
The Ice and Fire guy? I don't see him brute very
Yeah.
often. He seems pretty
He's-
level-headed.
He's
In fact,
he's pretty brooding.
He would be the best character
He's
for
pretty
them to try to
brooding.
convince to their side, since he's been stuffed into his father's shadow by his father. He'd be like the one that they would probably be able to actually kind of get through to if they chose their words properly. Which they wouldn't because they're idiots.
I mean, I guess if you look at Bakugo, he
We've
does.
Never seen. We don't see it happen. Well, maybe we do. Maybe that's a scene that you missed. But I mean,
think-
who's to say that?
I don't know.
I could just defend this
Matt
by
got
making
game
up things
theories?
that didn't happen.
I can just defend you with infinite hypotheticals.
You can actually.
What if it's all
That's
actually
a good
great?
debate strategy.
What if?
I'd have to
All
ask
right.
Scott.
I
don't
wanna
remember-
I wanna pull a plot twist here.
Wait, before you pull
Personally.
that plot twist, I remember seeing. I didn't watch the video, but I remember there was a thumbnail that showed up in my recommendeds or a video title. It was the real traitor, which I guess there was a traitor, and it was oh my god, it was the frog girl, and I was like, wait, what are we talking about? And I was like, did this happen, or is this a speculation that someone made where they said, oh my god, frog girl was evil all along? It was, I guess, a conspiracy theory, not a conspiracy. It was, I guess, a theory or something, a fan theory. I'm pretty sure it wasn't Matt. Pat that did
There is
A
this.
fan conspiracy.
There's no
A
way.
fan-spiracy.
Oh shit! There's no way
What?
that Frog Girl is evil. She's the goodiest of the two shoes.
Well, actually, the thing is, in none of the clips I
was
saw
gonna say,
did they
don't
ever
know-
imply a
isn't
traitor.
Frog
So
Girl everyone's waifu?
I don't know.
I'm on.
Frog Girl doesn't do a whole lot in the clips I've seen. She teams up with Birdman in an exam. She teams up with Midoriya and Sticky Guy to go
Yeah.
run around a boat, and that's kind of. And then she just kind of is there in a bunch of other scenes, but I don't actually see her do all that much.
She fights That weird chick with the needle.
Which chick with the needle? What are we talking about?
There's this girl with this needle, and she's like, "I want to suck your blood." And
Is it a needle
and
or a knife? Are you talking about that one girl that apparently everyone loves too, who
I
stabs
think she has
people?
a knife and a needle. Yeah, she stabs people.
With the eye bags.
I don't know. She has like a face
Yes.
mask, and I guess in one, I
A
guess she.
mask.
If we're talking about the same person, I'm talking about some girl on the
think we're-
villain team who
I
has
don't think
like
we're
a
talking about the
knife
same
and a face
person.
mask, and she like wants to
Who has a
stab
mask
people.
in this show?
Who wears a mask? Deku wears a mask, doesn't he?
Oh, jeez.
It covers his mouth. He has that
We
that silver thing
are
around his
at
neck.
a loss.
What? I swear
Okay.
Deku wore a mask. He had like a silver thing that went around his mouth on his hero costume.
Oh yeah, that guy wears running guy wears a mask. But who? The girl that sucks your blood with a big needle.
Yeah, I don't think
And
we're
has
talking
a
about the
knife.
same person. Hold on, I'm just gonna
Well,
grab
the
a
frog
picture.
girl
talking
fights
about
her.
the same anime? Because that doesn't sound like a thing that's congruent with everything else in this universe.
Great use of the word congruent.
Villains.
In any case,
I'm not sure if that's sarcasm.
I think it's. I don't.
It's cohesive.
Where's
That's a
picture
better
of her?
word.
This
I-
girl.
look,
What's
We
her
can
face?
Google the word congruent later. For now, let me
Jeez
just
Louise.
reveal. Let me just reveal what's my card, which is My Hero Academia is bad.
Oh.
So you dislike it, or do you
Uh-oh.
just?
We've got two hot takes.
I
Is-
disagree
is it
on the
really a-
reasoning for why this show is bad. And you know what? The thing that pains me to say this is that, at least for the first 2 seasons, or maybe season and a half, I really loved this show. I thought it was great. But the more you watch of it, the more you kind of see the flaws in it, and
Yeah, I'm
it
with you
kind of
there.
becomes a worse version of itself. I think the biggest problems with this show are, one, there's never any time to just chill out in this show. Whatever is happening is always the most extreme, dangerous, raising of the stakes thing ever. And it never just sits down and lets them go to fucking school. I signed up to watch school kids learn about how to become superheroes, but every other episode is like a fight of life and death, and like the corruption of hero society and all that shit.
So
And like
basically, what you're saying is that
screaming,
it's Ace Attorney 5.
crying. I haven't played that game in a while, so I don't know.
Damn it, Tar, back me up.
So I'm sorry.
I'm trying to remember what Ace Attorney 5 was.
Dual Destinies. You
I
know,
know
the
that, but
really
I'm
bad
trying to
one.
remember all the cases.
The really, really bad game.
Even
I know that.
even in Ace Attorney, though, you slow down to investigate the crime scene and shit. You know, you can chill out
Yeah.
for a bit. But
I'm
in,
with you
in My Hero
too, like-
Academia, it's always like, oh god, someone's about to die. I just broke my arm. I'm fucking. Someone's screaming
So
every 3
you're
seconds.
saying that,
Yeah.
so you're saying that My Hero Academia is Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yes.
It's bad
yes.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Excuse you, it's Arc V Yu-Gi-Oh! Because original Yu-Gi-Oh! and GX had a lot more downtime.
Well, there's no
Did they,
downtime
though?
in
Yeah, they
this
did.
whole show.
Downtime is a severely important
Yeah.
thing in a lot of shows that a lot of people don't seem to realize.
Yeah, well, without the downtime, everything just becomes melodrama, because it's like everything is...
Yeah.
When everything's extreme, nothing is, and so, like...
Even video
there's
games
that
about fighting have downtime.
Yeah, man.
They do.
And it's a shame, because, like, they're really good at making epic moments, but, like, that's the only thing that happens. Like, the music is great, the
part
action
where-
sequences are usually great.
That part where All
Um,
Might is like losing his body and he's like super tired and the whole world is seeing that he's like really weak and shit, and then he gets super strong and he beats up the villain. I didn't feel
That's a
fucking
cool
anything.
like scene, but I'm exhausted by how much crazy
Yeah.
shit. That season is like nothing but the most important fight ever until you get to that. And it's like just like whatever, just fight him. It's
I didn't
also feels like a,
care. And it was like this massive moment, and I was like sitting there thinking, I don't care.
yeah. Well, also there's the fact that the big emotional like core of that fight is that like All Might is fighting the guy that killed his master and stuff, but we don't really know anything about All Might's past until this
Excuse
fight.
you. Here at Bros in the Landfill, you call him Magic Eyebrow Man.
Sorry, Magic Eyebrow Man.
I call him
His-
All Might Excuse you.
His
But also-
family and
Wait.
backstory is that's super important to him is something we just found out about. So there's like no wait to this fight.
Wait, hold
You
on. I
know?
thought his master was the old man with the gray beard.
No,
that-
his
that
his
Santa.
old master, and I don't mean I know his master is old, but I mean like his previous hot girl master.
So there's two masters?
Oh, it's
yeah,
one of the
I guess
Master
first he
Roshi?
trained. Well, one of them is the one that passed on the magic eyebrows to him,
Oh.
and the bad guy killed her. That's like, how dare you say my master's name? And it's like, I just found out you had a master, so I don't really care that much.
What if that was like intended as a plot twist that they fumbled?
Well then, I mean,
They
Well,
fumbled it.
then they
Yeah.
fumbled it. Well,
Well,
I
yeah.
think it's it reminds me a little bit of the second half of season 2 of Mob Psycho 100, where they're just trying to cram as much show as possible into like a couple of episodes. And it's like just make some more show or like push some of it to next season or something, because like it's way too much information to take in. It's crazy.
I see. So basically, all of us agree that My Hero Academia is trash.
I wouldn't even call it trash. Like, I think Lunch
But-
dislikes it more than I do, but I just think it's.
But I kind of love it though.
mishandles
Or
itself.
I there's so much good in it, man. I love the character designs are so much fun and so ridiculous. You've got guys running.
Can we
the
agree that
the
My
running
Hero
guy
Academia-
has engines on
Sorry.
his legs? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just going on a crazy rant. Go on.
No, I do that all the time. You have as many as you want.
Okay.
You talking about some guy who like walks on his hands or something?
No, he has rockets on his legs.
Oh,
Yeah,
Look, My
'cause
Hero
he's not just
Academia-
fast. He has like a fucking engine that can stall. And like, that's just the idea that he was born as a child with fucking engines on his legs is so fucking good and stupid. I love it. Like there are
that
lots of
does
cool
sound
powers.
kind of camp.
Their cool teacher who like he can cancel your powers as long as he's looking at you, but if he blinks then like it goes away for a second, so he's always putting eye drops in his eyes. That's like fucking awesome. And he's like bloodshot eyes all the time. What a concept.
I was gonna say like I think
It's a
too-
weirdly awesome concept.
Actually, first question is his quirk entirely the eraser of other people's quirks, and then the scarf stuff is just something he's really good at, or does he?
Yeah,
have,
that's just like his
multiple
fighting
powers?
style. No, his power is to cancel people's quirks,
I
and
see.
then once they're like they've lost their main like martial art, I guess. He just overpowers you like a normie.
Oh,
Um,
what I was
'cause
gonna
you're a
say was-
normie.
sorry.
No, that's it.
What I was gonna say was number one. I think we can both agree that My Hero Academia has a bit of an issue of mishandling itself. Like it has like,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
and I think that's why
Okay.
we both kind of get a little bit.
Counterpoint to that.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's your counterpoint?
From what I know, which is very little, it seems like this anime, by necessity, would need a very bloated cast. Do you think that would be part of the issue?
No, actually, because what I was about to get to was while Lunch was talking about the guy with the jet legs, is that everyone in the cast, like I really think the problem is like Lunch was saying that there's like too many fights because the cast has a really good dynamic with itself, but it's given no time to like really expand on that. When the characters are together as a group, as like there's a scene where like they're living in a dorm together for some reason. I missed that part specifically as to why. And they're like just hanging out and talking and it's chill and they're like having a room competition where they're showing off the rooms to each other. And I was like, I thought that was pretty good. That was a really good scene. And then immediately it's just broken up by a fight and the team gets split up. And then there's like the tournament where the team gets split up. Like this group does not have enough time to really play off of their strengths with each other. But
Well, this is
when
what
they
I'm saying
do
when
get
I just,
together,
like,
they're really good.
I just want them to go to school. Like, can they just please go to school?
When
Can
they're
we
in the
have an episode where they have
classroom-
to study for a test and they're nervous and they're like, "Oh God, I don't know what to do. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
they're-
cheat off your paper." I don't know. I'm not a writer.
Even
know what I'm
Naruto did that.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was
Even
awesome.
Naruto did stuff with
They're
the
all
ninja
using their
sword.
powers to like cheat off each other, and like the test like is to cheat off each other. That's sick. That's a
And-
fucking. Oh man, what?
That's a plot twist and a half right there.
Now
it's
I'm
like-
praising Naruto. Look what you made me do.
Hey, I'm only just
what you
now
made me
starting to
do.
get into Naruto and find out how horribly unhealthy Hinata's relationship with him was.
Oh, gee, I never got that far. I watched, like, about 120 episodes of Naruto, and then I was like, I can't do this anymore. We just have, like, a whole arc where the whole thing was
Only
like you ran a race.
120, huh?
Remember,
Well,
says
I'm
he
watching the
who's
show in
watched
a weird
zero.
way where I'm seeing a bunch of like cut apart episodes, so I'm not getting the full story. But also, yeah, everyone is talking about how much they love Naruto and Hinata, and they get canonically married and have 2 kids. And I like was going back to look over their relationship, and Hinata is like unhealthily obsessed with him. And
Well-
I guess it's fine because Naruto doesn't like take advantage of her or anything. He's just kind of adult, but it's like you're really unhealthily attached to this guy.
Are
Which I
you
guess
talking about when they're, like, young or when they're
no, like the
time
entire
skipped?
way through. She's like, like all the way into the end. She's just like creep. She's like a. It's like a yandere, except she doesn't kill anybody.
Whoa.
Hinata is like a yandere, but she never kills anyone, and things actually go her way, and she eventually gets senpai. So but if Naruto had eyes for someone else, heads would roll. Many heads would roll, including his own. She was unstable.
Well, shit.
I
There's a
thought
take.
she was supposed to be like the quiet good girl.
She's the quiet
No,
sweetie.
she's hardcore yandere. She's like
No,
giving death glares to people that trash talk Naruto.
That? Huh. I know nothing about Naruto, but that just doesn't seem right.
She's a sweetie. She's like the.
She really
like-
is.
She's too shy to say anything to Naruto.
She's
is
very
the thing.
shy, and she's
And
not
he's
like.
and he's oblivious. It's okay to be in love, Dizzy.
It's okay this time because everything worked out in the end, but like
It's why
God.
you're literally thought criming this young girl who has a crush.
It's-
Oh, you're obsessed with her. Well,
she is obsessed
What the
with
fuck
him.
do you think an infatuation is, Dizzy?
There's infatuation.
she thinks
and
about
then
him all the
there's-
time and looks at him and makes
there's what
happy
they
eyes. Well, I mean, fuck, man. I'm glad there's not like an anime show that like sees into my brain when I'm like looking at people. You know, I would make anybody look like a weirdo.
What are we talking about right now? How do we get to an anime show that sees into your brain?
Well, because in anime, we can hear their inner monologues and shit, and we can get like dramatic zoom-ins on their faces. You know, I feel like if you applied that same editing to somebody in real life, it wouldn't be that different.
No, you don't even like get a whole lot of her internal thoughts. You just see her acting like a creep.
Is she a creep? I need
She-
to go
I-
back now. I need to go back.
I mean, a yandere
Something
is
ain't adding up here.
Yeah.
a yandere is typically described as like, or is typically shown
Dizzy's
as
got
like,
hot takes for days.
Is it even
My
a
Hero
hot take?
Academia
Unhealthy
is
obsession
meh.
with Naruto.
What is this?
Hinata's a yandere?
Well,
Yeah,
I said she's
no,
like
that's
a
the take.
yandere, but she thankfully it never came to the knife.
Oh my god.
It never came to the knife. It was a happy ending for everyone. She didn't kill anybody, and she got the guy that she wanted, and he got a happy ending because he became Hokage or something like that.
He finally got that desk job he'd been working his whole life for
Yeah,
for
and
some
then,
reason.
And then Baruto happened.
And then
I
his
don't know.
son came around and stole the spotlight.
Did he really? Because I was watching some of I was watching a little bit of Baruto, and of the clips I've seen, which were wildly out of order. Like I know less about Baruto than I know about Naruto, and I know less about Naruto than I know about My Hero Academia. So I'm
Okay.
basically on par with Tara as far as Baruto knowledge goes. And
Nice.
basically, the point I was trying to get
Join
to,
the club.
the point I was trying to get to is I didn't see a whole lot of Baruto in this show called Baruto. I saw his father. I saw Sasuke. I saw Sasuke's daughter. I saw Sasuke's daughter's best friend. I saw some guy that was, I guess, Naruto's advisor. There was a dude with the scar on his face who I thought was the dude with the scar on his face that covered his mouth that was like their teacher. But this dude with the scar on his face in Baruto was like really overly juvenile and jokey and goofy and stupid. So I don't think they're the same person.
I just love
I don't
hearing
know.
Dizzy's descriptions of the characters.
The guy with the mask and the
The
scar on
one
his
guy with
face.
the scar on his face, but not the guy with the scar on his face before.
They had the same white. They had the same
It's anime,
white
okay? You
hair.
have to. I'm sure it's gotta be the same guy, man. It's gotta be. In the beginning of Naruto, he's poking his fingers up Naruto's butt.
Was it Kakashi? Because that's the dude's name.
Why
I think
isn't
it was
it spoiling
Kakashi.
the fun to give him the name? Isn't it more fun to discuss about the guy with the white hair and the mask and the scar?
It might have been him,
And
but they were
potentially not the
acting-
same one?
They were acting completely differently though, because in Naruto the guy was like super serious all the time, and then in Boruto, this guy who looks like him is like really, really goofy.
Well, it's been a long time. People change. People
Granted.
change.
I mean, granted, I haven't seen all of Naruto. As you can tell by the fact that I started a week ago, I still need at least 3 years.
Gosh, I can't even tell if he's exaggerating.
But yeah,
My brain's starting to give out. What are we talking about?
we're talking about shonen animes apparently.
Okay. All right. Here's my next take. My Hero Academia is like Naruto, but less messy and like more focused and generally better, but still bad.
Here's my counter hot take. My Hero Academia is less focused than Naruto actually, and it needs better focus because it has all the makings of a good show, but it's too focused on action. It fundamentally misunderstands the comic book nature that it's aping at, because the important thing is the characters, and it has good characters, but it doesn't give it tries to make all development to these characters happen through fight scenes. It uses fight scenes too much as to bridge the gap, but the problem is that the bridging of the gap itself is supposed to be the really interesting part. It's like we're gonna split you off into teams to fight against the teachers, and then we're gonna make you learn your ultimate move or your signature move, and we're gonna have these hero fighting tournaments, and it's like we need to learn to work as a team, and it's like no, you need to go to school. You need to just chat with. You need to just chat with each other.
These fucking kids trying to skip to the fun part. I will agree that I really like in the fucking at the beginning of the show how much time is spent on Midoriya just like working out. And he like works out too much because he wants to get ahead of the schedule, and he like ruins his body. And it's like, dude, you need to chill out. You need to stick to the plan. But I know that it's just because you're eager. But you know, patience comes with.
But you don't have the magic eyebrows yet.
Yeah.
Even if he did,
you will earn my magic eyebrows in time.
I mean, doesn't Midoriya overwork himself even with the magic eyebrows and still screw his body up a second time?
What?
I swear that happened where when Midoriya was teaching, or Deku or whoever his name was learning under Old Man, he also broke from the schedule to overwork himself.
No, this is different.
Body.
I'm talking about when he was like trying to get the base amount of muscle mass he needed.
Yeah, but I was talking about Tara, because Tara was saying you don't have the magic eyebrows yet, and I was saying yeah, but even
it's not about.
Yeah,
he's still.
I wasn't aware you were trying to talk to me.
He has to train to get the magic eyebrows. And he's overworking himself in that attempt. But no, he struggles with magic eyebrows repeatedly, and he keeps breaking his body. I do like how eventually the doctor's like, your arm's gonna break if you keep doing this. If you keep breaking your arms are gonna break like real bad. But for real this time. Double serious time, your arms will break.
I mean, don't do this thing that's bad, or else bad things will happen, and that's bad.
But then
and this is like
Jojo
the third time
shows
he's had
up
this
and he's
conversation.
like,
He's
I'll
like,
heal
okay,
your
cool.
arm with my crazy diamond. And then he punches his arm with his stand, and it fixes his arms, and it's like...
I've still only seen the early JoJo.
And now we're in JoJo'sville.
Okay,
I guess we're not going to stay there for very long, because Lunch hasn't been there.
I've only seen the first two storylines. So don't fuck with me here. Don't fuck with me here. Do not fuck with me.
Hey, Lunch.
Here's what I like about JoJo. You could argue that JoJo has
episode of season 3.
No,
You haven't even
leave me
seen
alone.
The first episode yet. I wanted to talk about.
Why would I watch 2 seasons and then 1 episode of season 3 and then stop?
I assume you don't binge. I was just wondering if you like got it started and then put it back down to do something else, and then we're gonna pick it back up.
I haven't seen it. Just leave me alone.
Okay, fine.
Leave Lunch alone, Dizzy.
Fine, I'll talk to Try about this.
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so with JoJo, it's got possibly all the same problems as as like My Hero Academia in terms of like things are always insane and actiony and ridiculous, but like JoJo just fucking embraces that, where it's like that's almost the entire point. And even scenes that aren't about a fight feel like you're watching a fight because it's just fucking absurd. It's constantly escalating
because of all the detective work.
It's just is there even detectiving in the first season? I don't think so.
Oh wait! Oh, the first
and second, second storylines.
There's this part
is all
of
I've
Battle
seen.
Tendency, which I'm assuming you watched, considering you're saying you watched the first 2 seasons, so you better not call me out for spoilers.
The first 2
on this.
storylines, okay? I
Yeah.
finished the bit with with Joseph Joestar versus the all those dudes in thongs from space. Are they from space? I don't remember.
All versus
No, they're not
all
from
those
space.
dudes in thongs.
They're from the past.
The
they,
fuck
they
you
lived on,
expect me to call?
They lived
That's
on
what they
Earth
are.
before humans.
Okay, they're the opposite of aliens then. We're like the real aliens. They come out, the
Not
Nazis
really,
find
'cause-
them underground, and they're like, oh shit! And then they kill the Nazis, and then this one Nazi comes back, and he's like a robot Nazi, and you're like, we like you now for some reason, and I'm like, okay, this is
'cause
weird,
they're on
but
the
let's
same
just wait
team.
until he dies.
Yeah.
I guess we just like the Nazi guy now.
Well, they
It's
like
okay, it's JoJo, we're Japanese, we don't understand. Okay.
No, they like the Nazi guy because he's trying to help them kill these threats to the entirety of the human race. So they're
Yeah,
like,
but the audience is meant to like him too, and I'm like, yeah, he's still a Nazi, man. I don't know.
it's your choice whether you like him or not. Even Joseph doesn't like him; he respects him. Like he says that, like he keeps saying like he's not really friends with Stronheim, but he's like, but they have like an understanding.
I sure don't like that Richard Spencer, but I have to respect his power.
I mean, yeah, like Stronheim literally killed himself to like to help JoJo defeat this menace to literally the entire world.
You're
And
right.
then he came back as a robot. So Joseph's like, and that's the thing too. Joseph's like, I don't like him. He's an asshole and a Nazi, and he tortured Speedwagon, but also he fucking was brave enough and willing to blow himself up for the greater good. So that's kind of where JoJo stands with him. He's like,
JoJo stands with robot Nazis. That's like their ability to if they redeem themselves.
What I was gonna say was talking about Battle Tendency, and it has a lot of fight scenes and not a lot of downtime, but it does utilize its downtime pretty well, and it also like when it's not fighting, like there was the scene I was gonna talk to was the part where after JoJo climbs the Hell Climb pillar and him and Caesar have an understanding, and
Yes.
then they actually become friends. They respect each other, and then they become friends. You have like this montage where JoJo's training with Caesar for a month in the span of like a minute, and it's like, but it was done in a way that I felt was pretty good. So it's like it doesn't really feel like wasted time, and it doesn't feel like a cutaway where it's like, and then this happens, and now we're at the next fight scene.
Yeah, you
It's
gotta
not-
actually
it's not
like
just a
develop
text roll.
things.
And then
Yeah.
you kind of believe that the two of them are closer friends now because you see a bunch of pictures and you see a quick slideshow of all the shit that the two of them have to put up with together as a team. So then you kind of get that like Caesar and JoJo kind of become like mutual friends and rivals, and then Caesar is like worried about JoJo when he's being attacked, and then JoJo.
It's kind of it's so crazy, that show, where it's like,
Thank you, Big Car. I don't know what exactly you are. You know what? Keep going.
Thank
that was
you,
a great
Big Car.
improvised
I don't
poem.
know what you are, but I hope you don't run that red light. It's snowing
Boy,
on
they're
Mount
still
Fuji.
going.
that is definitely not how a haiku works.
Thank you for haiku, Dizzy.
That's been our haiku of the week. Bros and Michael.
It's gonna ask,
I was saying that
If I posted
JoJo
it-
surprisingly has kind of good writing, even though it's fucking stupid.
JoJo knows how to use its time. JoJo
It's kind
knows...
of like a... Sorry, you speak.
No, you
keep
go
talking at
ahead.
the same time. Oh, God! We're locked in a politeness battle. Well, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna back down that easily, bitch. You talk.
This reminds me of my dad trying to explain to me how to drive. Where he's like, walking is very different than walking around is very different than driving a car in terms of like courtesy stuff. He says like when you're driving a car, someone gives you the right of way, you take it. when you're walking and, it's polite to open the door for others, it's polite to stand aside for one another. When you're driving, you want to go. The polite thing to do is gun it.
Boy, there is still stuff going on out there.
I'm thinking about that in terms of politeness in conversations, whereas, is it politer for me to let you go, or is it politer for me to hurry up and say what I was going to say, and then you say what you were going to say?
It's a gray area here.
Yeah.
I like that you used politer, so that makes me feel good as an individual.
Tara, you go ahead. You start talking now. Tara, tell us about your favorite anime, Yu-Gi-Oh! Brains.
I'm sorry?
Tell us about your favorite anime, Yu-Gi-Oh! Brains. You were talking about how much you loved it before we started cast and how Playmaker is such a hunk.
I mean, you mistook that for Soul Burner, but I mean, yeah, I love Ninja Girl's tits.
And this has been Bros in a Landfill!
Signing off!
Is that seriously how we're ending?
Can we do that? Are we allowed to end like that?
I don't see why not. I mean, it's a shorter episode this week, but...
Great.
Okay, so should I stop recording now?
Yes.
Damn.